just wanna rock with you and roll the dice. Give me vibes, energy, how does it feel playing to the moon tonight? Could it be us living a final way of life? Give me vibes, I surrender every time. I know you make me feel so good inside. I just wanna rock with you and roll the dice. Oh yeah.
Welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, can you feel it? Can you feel it? It's in the air. It's thick. It's thick. That is the feeling of a bull market, ladies and gentlemen. Do you hear the bears whimpering in the forest? Bears are dying. Bears are going into hibernation. It's all about the bulls now. So welcome in. We got a lot to talk about. Beautiful, beautiful weekly close here on the price of Bitcoin. This is just the beginning. We are going to have the Omega candles. We are going to have the God candles. We are entering into a 6-month period of up only fucking FOMO. So if you aren't already excited, or maybe you're fucking retarded and you're sidelined like a bear, it's time to wake the fuck up and get ready for this fucking bull market. Wow, that's a lot of profanity right off the bat. I apologize to those who are sensitive about profanity. I'm very excited and I've got the mouth of a trucker, so I'm sorry about that. But let's take a look at the chat here. Let's catch up who's joining in. Let me know where you're joining in from. We got Battered and Bruised Productions. Hello from Canes. I believe I remember that correctly. It's a weird spelling of Canes. I probably got it wrong anyways. Andrew Craig, welcome in. Surviving Palawan, let's go. Who else do we got in here? The Fundy Australia, welcome. Good morning from Western Australia. Thank you, Western Australia. Nettie Mary is in the chat. We got Crypto Life, Pump It. Doge to the moon. Yeah, Doge had a beautiful daily candle close yesterday. We're going to take a look at Doge. Take us to crypto heaven. BTC to 2.9 million by tonight. Ooh, why so bearish, man? Why so bearish? 30x the whole account. It's moon time. Step it up. The banger of Bang Box trades. Yes, congratulations to those who were in the Bang Box trade last night. A lot of people were sleeping and they made 30% on their account. Total account is up 50% in Bitcoin. So if you started from the beginning of Bang Box and held through to this point, you have 50% more Bitcoin going into the bull market. Super, super excited about that. Andy Gardner coming in from Daytona Beach. All right. From Chile, been following you for 4 years. My second bull run now. Awesome, Mauricio. Thanks for being a long-time viewer of the channel. Okay, let's get into it. But before we do that, of course... But before we get into the TA, just a quick reminder, this content is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and trading or investing in cryptocurrency comes with risks. Always do your own research and consult with a professional if needed. Any use of trading bots or strategies should be tested and fully understood before implementation. Stay smart, stay safe, and trade responsibly. Let's get into the charts. All right, so we're starting things off looking at the weekly candle, and my God, take a picture of this and frame it and put it on the wall. What a beautiful, beautiful breakout. This is a definitive candle, ladies and gentlemen. This one is not up for interpretation. This is a breakout. This is a fully confirmed. If you think that this is not a confirmed breakout, if you think this is an up thrust or some sort of distribution, you got to get your head checked, because this is breakout territory. This is beautiful. After a multi-month accumulation, about a thousand, no, not 1,000. What am I talking about? A 238-day accumulation. Boom, boom. The candle on this is worth $11,687. An $11,000 candle on the weekly. Fucking beautiful. 17% candle. All right. Yeah, this is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm here on the Bitstamp chart. Beautiful breakout. But the chart I'm more so paying attention to is this one. If you were on the live stream last time we were talking about getting through this area, I said if we got through this area, it's probably going to be a breakout. Acceleration. We're getting to these. We're entering easy mode. We are getting to the part of the market where trading is very easy because new money is going to be coming in. Why is new money coming in? Because the price is going up. It's very easy to trade against dumb money. Very hard to trade against smart money. Very easy to trade against dumb money. Dumb money's coming in. Too much text. So we can get rid of this. It's no longer resistance. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing to be looking at. We can get rid of that. Let's go to the daily chart. We've been watching this upwards sloping channel for a few weeks now. When did we start talking about this? We talked about it back here, middle of September. About the middle of September is when we started talking and identifying this range. Came back down for a beautiful test. Perfectly testing the range. Everybody was saying that we were heading lower here. We were telling you, no, we're heading up, and we've been heading out, and now we're breaking out. Looking fabulous, fabulous. Let's take a quick look at the Bang Box trade. So if you missed it, we got a nice 27.45% move trade. Let's actually take a look at the trade on the 15-minute. I mean, it's not that special. I mean, it's just, when the parameters hit, you get in, it trails the stop, boom, gets you out. It did carry on beyond that point, but the whole thing about Bang Bots is it's a scalping bot. It's scalping out some sats, so you're ready for the next leg up. You're ready for the next move. And as a result of those scalps, we have 45% more Bitcoin than when we started with. So beautiful thing when you're heading into a bull market is to have 45% more Bitcoin for the bull market. Fabulous, fabulous. All the links are down below. If you guys aren't already signed up, it's super easy to start an account. Everything is free, and I don't mean free with a catch. Well, there is a catch. You have to use one of our partnered exchanges, but you're going to trade somewhere anyways, and you're going to be paying exchange fees anyways. It's no extra cost to you. That's probably the better way to frame it. This comes at no extra cost to you. These are things that you're doing already. Go to blackbox.pro, blkbox.pro, sign up for free, start your new account today. We'll have you up and running and ready for the next 30% trade in a matter of minutes. And beautiful to see. We put 0.1 in this at we put $6,500 in this one right now, currently valued at, what is 1.453 valued at, actually? We put 6,500 in the bot. What is that actually valued in? Because it's making Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's going up too. $0.14145. What was it? 1453. Yeah, so we put $6,500 in, and it's almost at $12,000. So not too shabby for a free product. Check it out. Lots of happy users. Let's go down to the 4 hour. Did we really cover the daily? Let's see. What can we look for on the daily? So here's the thing that fucks people up. And for those who have been trading Bitcoin for a while, you will already be familiar with this type of behavior in Bitcoin. After long-term accumulations, when Bitcoin breaks out, it doesn't pull back. Everybody's talking about, oh, where's a pullback? Where do we get in? How do we get this pullback? Blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying it can't pull back. I'm saying usually after long periods of accumulation, it doesn't. Let me show you a few examples of that. Let's go back in time here to the bear market accumulation. You know, we had this accumulation down here. When it finally broke out, you know, a lot of people were looking at it like this, right? They were looking at this break, so that it had a breakout, and they're like, okay, well, where do we buy in? Where's the pullback? There was no fucking pullback. It didn't pull back until after it did a 36% move. So, I mean, you could call this a pullback, but when this was happening, people were wanting a deeper pullback. That's the thing, you know? So, you know, getting cheeky with things, it's not going to pull back for like 40%. And then you get a real pullback. But that, I don't think that we're ready for a real pullback just yet. Let's see where we're at with this breakout. This breakout, in my eyes, do we measure from there or do we measure from the all-time high? Let's measure from the all-time high because a lot of people will be measuring from there. You know, we're only 12% up, so let's say we go up to 36%, just like last time. We're not going to pull back for 100K. Now, that's mind-boggling for a lot of people. When I say that, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're not going to pull back until we hit 100K. This is just based off of historical behavior of Bitcoin. And all I'm sitting here saying is I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised to see Bitcoin not really pull back until it hits 100K. How fucking awesome is that? The kind of pullbacks that you're going to be looking at were what we experienced over the last few days. This area right here is when Bitcoin's in bullish mode, like bullish, I'm ready to fuck off mode. This is your pullback, like a tight consolidation. When you see a big candle, tight Bitcoin consolidation where it doesn't really move anywhere and people are expecting it to pull back, it'll just keep going. It'll just keep going. So we could get another one of those. We just got a weekly candle close. Those are usually volatile. So let's turn on alpha numerics here for just a moment. The 7 exponential moving average, which is this blue one on alpha numerics, is currently sitting at the top of the yellow range here. We could get a liquidation event to the downside, but I'm much more bullish than that. So I think we get a tag down to the downside here on a smaller time frame, which currently is right around the $80,000 level, 79,500. So we could get another tag down to here, but the order books are stacked bullish. There's more bids than there are asks. There's more demand than there is supply. Don't stand in the way of that. Don't stand in the way of that. You should be in, you should be allocated, and you should be kicking back and enjoying the gains because that's the way it's going to go. All right, let's catch up with the chat before we go into the smaller time frames. Are we hitting 83K tonight? Very likely, in my opinion. Raleigh, North Carolina. I have a good friend from Raleigh, North Carolina. You know Ray? Can't remember his last name. Or maybe you are Ray. Because Ray knows I'm into Bitcoin and I'm a YouTuber. I'm sure you know a Ray. When alt season? Great question. We'll dive into once we finish up with Bitcoin, that's on the menu today. That's on the list of things to do. Simas Petrikusas coming from Lithuania. I'm sorry I butchered your name there. I know I butchered your name. I did my best. Welcome from Lithuania. All right. How many people watching on YouTube Shorts? We got 6 people watching from YouTube Shorts. If you guys are new here, spam your tickers. If there's something that you want me to take a look at, if there's a specific project or a token or whatever you want me to take a look at, let me know in the comments section and I will take a look. We got 29 people joining in on the on traditional YouTube live stream, so that's fantastic. Welcome in. That's good numbers for me. The bull market must be coming back here. All right, so let's finish things up with Bitcoin. Not expecting much of a pullback. I expect pullbacks to be shallow, and I'm not really expecting a pullback here. You know, we kind of had an extension here into a consolidation. This is your pullback. It's like an upwards pullback. So we'll probably get another move. Let's do a measured move just for funsies. Yeah, so maybe we get a slowdown at 85. I think 83 by the end of today's candle is extremely likely. We've got plenty of candle left. We have 23 hours left of candle. So this is a breakout. It's gonna go. This is the way the order books are stacked. 15-minute. We're looking for a reset on Bang Box. So for those who don't already have the 128 EMA marked on your chart, that's what this pink line is, this magenta line, whatever you want to call it. We came down and touched it, but a touch isn't good enough. We got to close below it. So we are kind of rooting for the short-term bears here. I want us to come back down below. Currently at $79,000, but this price will creep up. So maybe we can pump a little bit more, curl that EMA up a little bit and make it easier to cross. The higher the price goes, the easier it is to cross and close a candle below it. So yeah, that's Bitcoin. Let's see what's going on in the alts, because we have been seeing a lot of momentum, short-term momentum coming into the altcoin markets after Bitcoin makes a move. We mentioned Doge. We're going to take a look at Doge, so stay tuned for that. But let's start things off here with Bitcoin dominance. Let's go over to the weekly chart. It's looking good. It's looking like we have a top here in Bitcoin dominance. Doesn't mean that we can't rip, but Bitcoin's been ripping, and this is heading down. So that's a very positive sign for the altcoins. Very positive sign. I was not expecting to see red candles with this much bullish momentum in Bitcoin. Doesn't mean we can't have a rip up to 100K where the alts don't really follow, but we're definitely starting to paint that picture where there is a rotation happening in the altcoin space, and we're starting to see more bullish allocations into the alts. This is good to see if you've been an altcoin trader, because if you have been an altcoin trader and you've been heavy altcoins this whole time and not in Bitcoin since September of 2022, you've been getting wrecked. And we talk about this all the time on the channel. As long as this chart is in an uptrend, it's not the most favorable environment to be in an altcoin. It doesn't mean that you can't make money in altcoins. We've seen some incredible rises out of Caspa. We've seen Solana do very, very well. We've seen a couple of our picks with Immutable X, and there's a couple other ones that have done well. It doesn't mean that the alts don't do well on an individual case-by-case basis, but that's not altcoin season. Altcoin season is when everything goes up. Altcoin season is just around the corner, in my opinion. So we can probably get rid of alts get wrecked at this point, and we can slide our altcoin season up to this SR resistance flip. So we're looking at around a 57, a break below 57 for full-blown altcoin season to begin. Let's take a look at some of the darlings here. Let's take a look at good old Doge. Hell of a pump on that one. Holy smokes. This is a perfect Wyckoff setup. For those who are new to the channel, you may not be already aware that I come from a very long, well-studied background of Wyckoff trading. And this is just a picture perfect Wyckoff accumulation. Absolutely beautiful Wyckoff accumulation here on Doge. And this is the area where you buy. You got the buy signal here. Not financial advice, ladies and gentlemen. You got to do your own research and form your own convictions. But as far as a buy signal on the Wyckoff, the method is concerned, There is demand for Doge. People mine Doge. Doge has a huge cult following. It has a beautiful accumulation structure, and we just got our buy signal right here, and we're well above our buy signal now. So Doge is looking good. Doge is looking real good. All right, let's take a look at some of the other older ones. Let's see what Chainlink is doing. Chainlink, this one is one we called out in the group. It has been doing poorly. We're still down 25% since the call on that one, but we have not lost hope. Let's get a longer chart here on Chainlink. This is another kind of Wyckoff accumulation. It's just nowhere near as clean and as what's the word? Enthusiastic as the Doge one. So we would call this a laggard. But similar structure, just not as strong. Similar structure, just not as strong. So that's kind of leaning into the whole thesis that this market cycle, as far as altcoins are concerned, is going to be more heavily leaning on memes. You know, I don't know what that means in terms of where we are as a society, but hey, you can't ignore the market. You got to pay attention to what the market is buying, and far and above everything else, memes are what's on the menu. Everybody likes to buy memes. Don't ask me why. We can speculate. We have our own theories, but all of that doesn't matter. You just got to look at what the market is buying. The market is buying memes. Will that change when the new money comes in? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But as of this bull market thus far, the memes have been leading the charge for sure. What else on the topic of memes? Let's take a look at meme. Meme has been doing terrible. So this is an ordinal meme. Let's take a look at Popcat. Popcat. We're on some high time frames here. Let's go down to the daily. Uptrend, kind of not a great structure here, if I'm being honest with you. We have a lower high here in Popcat. So proceed with caution. Proceed with caution. Because of this structure, I'm not super enthusiastic in taking a position. I would be a lot more enthusiastic if we came down and tested prior resistance. So something down here, only because we have a lower high here. A lot of things are lining up bullish. The structure is in an uptrend. Bitcoin's in an uptrend. Ethereum's in an uptrend. A lot of things are in an uptrend. So when you see that in the large caps and you see this in the small caps, you got to proceed with caution. So based off of this structure alone, if we break above this, totally different. But right now, I'd be looking for a retest down to that level here on Popcat. And maybe Popcat's done. You know, that's the other thing about memes that you have to be very careful of, is most of them are scams. Like full on just game of musical chairs. It's just a fucking game of scams, which is why I always say the best place that you can be is Bitcoin. The heaviest allocation of your portfolio should be Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the only coin that isn't a scam. Here's my maxi, my Bitcoin maxi side coming out. You know, I do exist. I am a Bitcoin maxi. I'm a Bitcoin maxi that will trade shit coins, but I am a Bitcoin maxi at heart. Anything that isn't Bitcoin is a shit coin, and they're all going to trade to zero in the long term. But when we're in a bull market, we can certainly increase our SAT allocation by leveraging some of these garbage projects and stealing money from noobs. That's effectively what it is. You're stealing money from noobs. And that's what a lot of these memes do, right? So they get people hyped up, they pay a bunch of money on marketing, and they make back that money in spades trading these. This is insider trading. So are you on the inside? If the answer is no, be careful. Nerp 3,800 in 2020, 19K 2024. What's 19K? What's 19K? 2020, the low was 38, but the low was 15K. 2020, I don't know what you're saying, bud. You're going to have to explain yourself. I don't know what you're saying. Let's take a look at some of the ordinals. How's Track doing? Any recovery there? Nope, no recovery yet on Track. Fractal Bitcoin also looking like a pile of garbage, pile of shit. Let's take a look at Ordi. Ordi getting a little bit of traction, but certainly not keeping up with the current meta of what we're seeing out in the markets right now. So Ordinals, been saying this for a while. I'm heavy Ordinals. I also think they're not going to do jack shit for a while. Even though the market's flipping bullish, I still think that their momentum is going to be lagging momentum compared to other assets. Pups World Peace. Doge is not a scam. Doge is real. Doge is a scam. Doge is literally a joke. Only true meme coin. I mean, it's not a scam in the sense that, you know, the distribution was even, but it's never going to go anywhere. So, you know, that's kind of what I mean by it's a scam. It's not somebody trying to steal your money because it's fully decentralized. It's fully distributed. It's not fully distributed. The miners mine it. So in that sense, it's not a scam, but it's also never going to be money. And it's never going to be what Bitcoin's going to be. And it will always lose value against Bitcoin in the long run. What else can we look at? Let's see what Solana is up to. Solana, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful breakout here. Fantastic. Where are we sitting with our Solana trade? Sitting at 86% on the Solana trade. Looking gorgeous. Finally getting some momentum on that one. Kaspa, do we dare? Kaspa makes me very nervous. Gotta be honest with you guys. Kaspa looks a little distributional to me, and it shouldn't come as a surprise. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about coins that have gone up a lot. You have a lot of rich people that are impatient and they're gonna take profits. You know, if you're sitting up here, you've got a 360x here from just down here, and if you were a fucking legend OG in Kaspa, you know, you're sitting at 1000x, over 1000x, and there's a lot of people who are ridiculous OGs. I know a couple of them. Just be careful. This looks like distribution to me. It could go, you know, we are entering a bull market. It should be a favorable environment for most things, but this current structure right now is showing distribution. So some of those Kaspa whales most certainly are taking profits. Is enough of the profits going to be taken to destroy the chart? That's an entirely different topic. Entirely different topic. Let's take a look at good old Ethereum. I finally had something nice to say about Ethereum. Last stream, it's still lagging, you know, it's still lagging. Solana's doing way better. Fucking Doge is doing way better. But you know, it's starting to catch up. It's starting to show a little bit of structure that I'm a lot less bearish on. This is looking nice to me. This is looking like it could actually, begin to kick into an uptrend with a higher acceleration, but it's, you know, it's still not great. It's not fabulous. It's not amazing. So let's take a look at that on the Bitcoin chart. We have had this red line in the sand here beginning to catch up here. I've been saying, you know, Ethereum won't really outperform the market until it can get above this red downtrend. So, you know, maybe we rally up to it and get another rejection. Maybe we rally up and we finally get the breakout. When we finally get a breakout here, if we get a breakout above this, now that's really when Ethereum is going to really heat up. But it might not. It might not. Okay, it could come up here and get another rejection, come back down, and, you know, it can still go up in fiat terms and continue to do this. But the moment it breaks out, that's when it's really going to start making you Bitcoin. And for me, that's the most important thing. If I'm going to take a position in an altcoin, I don't give a fuck about what the price is in the dollars. Dollars are useless. I hate dollars. They lose value. When you hold dollars, you're allowing the government to steal from you. Fuck that. I want to make sure that when I take an altcoin trade, I make more Bitcoin. And the only way that I can do that is by paying attention to the Bitcoin comparative chart. No other chart should be looked at when you're making decisions to sell your Bitcoin to buy an altcoin. Somewhat unrelated, but can you cash out once you think take a look at pops. Somewhat unrelated, but when you cash out, once you think the top is in, is that only into BTC? Do you sell at least some of your BTC anticipating an 80% drop? Well, I'm a bad person to ask this question to because I live on a Bitcoin standard. So the answer is going to be no from me. But can you take profits? Yes, absolutely. You can take profits. And I will be selling some in the form of real estate. Like I will be buying a piece of real estate. I might be diversifying into other hard assets. But I'm not going to be selling it for cash. I don't use cash. I don't live on cash. I don't hold cash. I am living on a Bitcoin standard. I'm a hardcore Bitcoin maxi. So you're probably asking the wrong person because I have no interest in having anything to do with the dollar. But for those who do care about dollars, for those who do love their slave currencies, you can absolutely, trade some Bitcoin for some slave currency. What up, JT? Could you take a quick look at Turbo and Floki? Sure. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Turbo. People have made a lot of money on Turbo. What is going to continue? So the thing about memes, it's such an interesting thing for me because I've always avoided them. And the reason I've always avoided them is because they quite literally are a game of musical chairs. And what you're doing is you're playing against insiders. You're playing against the insiders who launch a meme, have a marketing budget. They're going to spam Twitter. They're going to spam the thing anywhere that they can. They're going to pay a lot of money advertising the thing. And I don't know when that marketing budget runs out. I don't know when the insiders are going to dump their tokens onto retail. There's a lot of unknowns with this. So TA is really hard to do on meme coins. You almost have to do more of a fundamental analysis being an insider. So I would recommend, if you aren't in the Turbo Discord, get into the Turbo Discord. Try and figure out if you can weasel your way into some sort of inner circle where the individuals are at least speaking about their plans on what they're doing, and try to identify the whales of the group. And when the whales start selling, this happens every single time, okay? This happens in many, many groups. Sometimes it's very public, sometimes it's less public, but usually they're quite public, where somebody in the group will say, oh, so-and-so whale is dumping. What an idiot. And the whole group is like, whoa, what a cheat. He's selling all his tokens. What a moron. I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, when the whale sells, it's done. So pay attention to those whale wallets. And when the whales start selling, when the whales start dumping, shit's done. It's over. Gonzo. Not going to happen. Retail's too broke to keep up the price. So do more of a fundamental analysis of token distribution, and holder count, and holder values, because this doesn't really give us much. We are in an uptrend. We have this kind of weird structure. But I just don't see good value here. Like, I would not buy at this level. I would not buy down here at 3/4 of a penny. I just don't see good value here. So for me, these are more fundamental plays. Check out Turbo from a fundamental. Just get into the group and figure out where the whales are. Turbo and Floki. Floki had a huge marketing budget. Floki looks better than Turbo. At least it has a longer term accumulation. Could be interested in being a buyer here if it broke out above this level right here, which it's currently butt up against. But yeah, I just don't know how much you're going to get. I don't know how much you're going to get out of this one. Maybe, a 2 or 3x, maybe a 10x, maybe a 10x out of this one. Most of the gains are got. That's kind of the point I'm trying to make. And the insiders will do what they can to convince the users otherwise. But yeah, just pay attention to what the whales are doing. That's the best advice that I can give you. When the whales start selling, you start selling. All right, let's take a look at a couple fundamentals. Did we just get a market open? Is the market open yet? No, the market's not open. What day is it? It's Sunday, right? Yeah, we got 7 hours till we get the market open. This will be an interesting market open. This will be an interesting market open for sure. So we'll have to tune in and see what's up with that. But yeah, maybe it's a bullish one. Maybe it's a bearish one. We've been getting lots of gap ups. Market's really excited about the fact that Trump won presidency. It's going to be very good for business. Positive sentiment is coming back into the market, specifically from North America. You know, Asia's been quite bullish for a while, and I would almost argue that the entire bull market thus far has been Asia driven, because Americans have been so depressed and so like destitute, and like inflation is killing them. They can't pay for shit. They're not excited about the future. They're not excited about starting businesses. They're not excited about taking on more debt. But with business positive policies coming from Donald Trump, that sentiment can very easily change. And if Donald Trump literally starts rolling out a plan to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet and as a treasury asset, you're going to see some nation state FOMO into Bitcoin. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen on the market open here. But it's a breakout. It's a breakout everywhere you look. It's a breakout on the S&P. It's a breakout on the NASDAQ. How's gold doing? Gold having a little bit of a retracement. That's fine. That's fine. You know, that's probably speculators thinking that if the war in Ukraine is going to end as a result of Trump, then you don't need... that'll bring strength to the currencies, and you don't need to use gold as much as a hedge. But I still see a lot of strength moving forwards in gold. Dollar's probably doing fantastic. Dollar had a nice little recovery. Looks like it had a down day, now back up. A lot of volatility here in the dollar. Yeah, a lot of volatility here in the dollar. It's looking good. Dollar keeps getting stronger. Congrats to those who hold the US version of slave currency. Your version of slave currency is doing better than everybody else's. So congrats to that. Yeah, that's kind of it for the fundamental side, or the traditional market side. Don't want to get too into the weeds with any of the individuals. Let's take a look at MicroStrategy, MSTR. Yeah, this one will be funny to see on the open. This one's going to gap up on the open. This one's going to gap up on the open, probably ridiculously high too, because it just gains so much valuation because of Bitcoin rallying 17%. It'll probably gap up 17%. So what does that look like? So it'll gap up to above 300 on the day, probably on MicroStrategy. All right, that's enough of the traditional TA. Let's take a look at some of the more degenerate TA. Go over to Magic Eden, take a look at a couple runes. Magic Eden, let's take a look at runes. Let's see what Dog Go to Moon is doing. Breakout, sign of strength, retest. This level needs to hold. This would be a good support level for anybody who's bullish on Dog and thinks that it could be a good play. This, not financial advice, but this could be a good spot. If it fails to hold the support here, however, you'd be looking at down at 3.68 sats per Dog. But hasn't gotten too crazy. Again, the ordinals, everything ordinal related is not crazy yet. This, traditionally what we've looked at in the market is Bitcoin pumps. then Ethereum pumps, then top 20 pumps, then everything else pumps. This time it's more like Bitcoin pumps, Solana pumps, Ethereum recovers a little bit of its injuries, and then everything else pumps. You know, this definitely falls under the category of everything else pumps. So it'll come later. It'll come later. When you start measure your P&L in BTC instead of fiat, when did you start measuring your P&L in BTC instead of fiat? Then you are, when you start, I don't know why it's so hard for me to read that. When you start measuring your P&L in BTC instead of fiat, you are on the Bitcoin standard. I would take it one step further and say that when your whole net worth is in Bitcoin and you think in Bitcoin and you make decisions in Bitcoin, but you're right. As long as you're measuring everything in Bitcoin, everything that you do, so, you know, you realize that the value of your house goes down. You realize that the value of your labor goes down. You realize that the value of your groceries goes down. You realize that the value of your car and your car insurance and the price of fuel all goes down. Then you're in the right state of mind. Very good. All right. How many people do we have on YouTube Shorts watching? 36 people on the regular YouTube live and only 2 on the shorts. Only 2 on the shorts. Is it worth the effort? Is it worth the bullshit? Well, I need the vertical content for shorts anyways, so I guess it's worth it. All right, what else can we take a look at in terms of runes? Let's take a look at pups. I know you've been dying. Pups world peace. How are our little pups doing? Pups looks great. Pups looks great. So is Pups the leader? Is Pups the runes meta? It's not Dog, which isn't surprising because Dog is an airdrop. Airdrops are worth as much as you paid for them, and if you didn't pay for them, they're not worth anything. But this is looking good. Pups looks good. So Pups did not do an airdrop. They were distributed fairly, or I think the actual Pups token was issued to those who held Bitcoin puppets. But yeah, no, this structure is good. We just had a breakout of the previous swing high. It will probably continue to the upside, so that's looking good. Volume, let's see what the weekly volume is. Weekly volume is 36 Bitcoin. Pending buys is 0. Let's see what the daily volume's at. 4 Bitcoin, that's still pretty good. That's still pretty good daily volume. So Pups looks good. Pups looks good. What's Billion Dollar Cat doing? Billion Dollar Cat looks a lot like Pups. That makes me wonder what's going on with our little pandas here. Where's our pandas? Based Internet Panda. Not as good. Not as good. Laggard. Oh, well. Much smaller market cap. A lot less market share in the grand scheme of things. Where's Glizzy? Is Glizzy a rune? Gizmo Imaginary Kitten? These are so fucking stupid. These are so fucking stupid. Yeah, this one's a new one, so it'll get some excitement. It's got some excitement. 65 buys pending. This one will probably go, but it'd be a quick flip. Overhyped. It's not fitting the market meta currently. Careful with runes. You got to sell them. These are not fungible. There's no liquidity pools. You can't just jump in and out of these things. Somebody actually needs to go and step up and say, yes, I'll buy those things from you. So be careful with that. Nothing says respect like a top hat is saying, might be a topic for on server chat rather than YouTube, but would you tell us a bit about using Bitcoin as primary savings, i.e. what things are like in Bali? do you use to find people you can exchange directly with, or do you use a crypto credit card or a crypto ATM? No crypto ATMs in Indonesia. Indonesia is really not crypto friendly at all, which is surprising because there's such a large crypto, like the expat community, fucking half of them are in crypto. There's a huge, huge crypto influence in Bali, but the Indonesian government fucking hates crypto, as every government should. Every government that's not going to adopt a Bitcoin standard is going to hate Bitcoin because it takes away all their control. Governments love control. So Indonesia hates Bitcoin. So no Bitcoin ATMs. I personally use BISC. So I paid for my villa. A lot of rentals here, or the best deal on rentals here, you pay a year up front. So I paid a year's worth of rent, paid in crypto. Then month to month, I have very low living expenses. So at the beginning of each month, I go on BISC and I trade my Bitcoin for rupiah as much as I need for that month. And then when the rupiah runs out, it'll be next month and I do it all over again. I do have a crypto debit card, but the thing is that does have an element of KYC to it. So I typically avoid using that. The only time I've ever really used that card is to kind of try and to convince to a normie that it's easy to use crypto, because that's one of the biggest criticisms that you get is, oh, well, you can't use Bitcoin anywhere. And then I'll just be like, okay, well, I just paid your coffee. I just paid for your coffee with this card that's Bitcoin. But yeah, so, you know, I kind of like the non-KYC approach. Bitcoin approaching 81. Oh yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. We're just fucking off. That's what Bitcoin does. It just fucks off. There's no such thing as a pullback after 7 months of accumulation. If you're waiting for a big pullback, there's no such thing. Looking good. Not great for Bangbox. We do need us to come back down. Come back down, please. Just close one candle below that pink line so that we can capitalize. But yeah, nothing says respect like a top hat. Great question. And yeah, depending on where you're at, you know, ATMs are great, especially if the ATMs don't have KYC requirements. I think that's great. On the topic of KYC, I just want everybody to know that, you know, I don't use KYC as no KYC because I'm trying to avoid taxes or anything. You should always pay your taxes. But what I want is I don't want anybody, specifically the government. I don't want the government to know how much Bitcoin I have, because if we get, you know, one of those situations where, you know, we need to seize your Bitcoin, and if they know how much Bitcoin you have, they know how much they can come after you to seize it. If they don't know how much you have, then they can only ask for what they know, which might be a very small percentage of your overall portfolio. So KYC is really important to me. Does BISC act like your bank account? BISC is more like, I put a video out on BISC, so just search BISC under my channel ID. It's more so like Facebook Marketplace for Bitcoin, where you have buyers and sellers. You'll see all of the people selling, and you'll see all of the people buying. If you're looking to buy, you click buy, you accept one of the buy orders on BISC, or you can also create your own orders to sit on the order book. And basically you would connect I use Wise, or I use Revolut, or you can use a local bank as well to receive the money. I send the Bitcoin into BISC. BISC acts as a middleman. The user sends the fiat currency. Once I confirm that the fiat currency has arrived, I release the Bitcoin, and they get their Bitcoin. I get my fiat, and it's as easy as that. It's a lot of it's very foreign at first, and it's hard to get used to at first. But once you get used to it, it's super easy. It's super easy. Very, very easy to use. Pumps was the first meme on Bitcoin. That is false. Meme was the first meme on Bitcoin. Pups is a rune. Maybe the first meme rune on Bitcoin. But the first meme was a BRC20 token by the name of Meme. Funding rates. In a 2x trade since 65K, fucking rights. Unrealized P&L is around 15 times more than the realized P&L. Any rule of thumb or tips in terms of knowing when to call it quits due to the crazy high funding fees? So asking me how to handle a trade as it already exists is probably the worst type of question that somebody in my position could be asked. So I'm not going to give you a clear answer. You need to have a plan going into the trade. Before you press buy, you know the sell, you know the take profit, you know the time duration, you know the exit plan if it goes against you, you know every single movement of what you're going to do inside of that trade under every single condition. Trading sideways, it goes against you, it goes in your favor. You have to know everything about the trade before you enter the trade. Because when you don't know that, you find yourself in the trade not knowing what to do, which is why you're asking a YouTuber how to handle the trade. I can't give you advice on that. I can't give you solid, sound advice that goes with you. I would say pay attention to the funding. How is it doing on your margin? If you're that far up, you know, you just got to look at the numbers. Are you okay with paying the amounts that you're paying? Really, that's what it comes down to at that point. BISC is a P2P decentralized exchange. That is correct. Cheers, love your work. Definitely one of the most underrated shows there is. You use Memecoin in your intro. That's just Pepe. Pepe is just the mascot of the internet. Are you involved in their AI ecosystem? No, I don't hold Pepe coin at all. The intro isn't Pepe coin. It's just Pepe. Pepe's been around long before crypto. Pepe is the mascot of the internet. Meme has no culture or community. Yep, 100%. 100%. That's why it's so shit. But it was the first. It was the first. If we're talking first, it was the first. But you're right. It's shit. That's why it hasn't done anything. All right. How are we doing on time here? Coming up on an hour. Spam your tickers, otherwise I'm leaving. Spam your tickers, otherwise I'm leaving. What else can I take a look at here? Let's take a look at Monero. How's Monero doing? Ooh, that's so unfortunate. You know, there's a real like emotional conflict for me right now because I love Monero. I'm a privacy guy. I love Monero. But I also realize that Monero is a hot potato. You don't hold it. You know, you hold it for as little amount of as possible. It's just like fiat in the sense that, you know, if you're looking for privacy, if you're trying to make an online purchase and you want to be private and you can use Monero, there's nothing better than using Monero. It's the most private. But as a currency, it sucks. And I used to jive quite well. All Bitcoiners used to jive quite well with the Monero community, but man, they are toxic. Like you think Bitcoin maxis are toxic? Go talk to a fucking Monero bro. Those guys are toxic waste. They are so ruthless. So ruthless. Unfortunate. Yeah, Monero, it has its use case, but its use case is certainly not going up in price. That's for sure. It stays down. It's a stable coin at best. Unfortunate. How's the Ron trade doing? Ron trade, yeah, this one will be a late comer. We're overall bearish on gaming right now. Gaming hasn't, gaming's coming. Don't worry. Gaming is coming. Metaverse, all the bullshit narratives. Some of the biggest bull runs you get Memecoin bull runs, you get AI bull runs, you get Metaverse bull runs, and you get gaming bull runs. Okay. We will see them all through this bull run. For the next 4 to 6 months, we're going to see them all. Hexicans. Good point, Andrew. You want to talk toxic, the Hexicans, but they're just sad. And they're not intelligent for the most part. Whereas Monero bros are smart, but they don't understand money enough, or they don't understand market dynamics enough in the context of money, and they're fucking angry. They're so angry. Hexicans are just idiots. They're just the lowest rung of understanding. Cult leaders, cult followers. Let's take a look at Hex. How's Hex doing? We haven't looked at Hex in a while. You look at a chart like this. You look at a chart like this, where it is from the all-time high down to the current price, 99.52% loss. 99.5% loss. And you talk to a Hexican, they're convinced it's going to the moon. They're convinced it's going up. That's just sad. That's sad. It's really unfortunate. But hey, in markets, there are winners and there are losers. Yeah. Alva Stewtub. Alva. Ooh. Little frisky business here. Nice little accumulation coming into a sign of strength. Probably super illiquid bullshit token, though. Let's learn more about Alva. You guys don't need to go this far down the rabbit hole. Like 1959. 1959. Is it new? Is it brand new? No, it's not brand new. It's been around for a while. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put more than 25 basis points of my portfolio to this thing. You know, if you know something I don't know, if there's some fundamental reason as to why this, you know, is a buy for you, for me, it's not, just because it's, you know, in fucking illiquid shitcoin land. If you have a reason to buy it, you know, have a plan, but do not go heavy on this thing. Like this is 0.25% of your portfolio at best. That's with a good amount of conviction on that. Let's take a look at this tweet that you have copied in the chat here. Buckle up, buckaroo, Alvara, altcoins. Okay, 85 views. Posted about an hour ago, hour and a half ago. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Do we give a shit about StewTube? He's got more followers than me, so maybe we should. Yeah, I don't know. It's not too exciting to me. What does the website say? The ERC 7621 hub. Nah, I'm bearish on most things Ethereum, especially when you get down into the fucking, you know, 2000 list coin. Aloha Kahuna. Do you think Cardano still has a future? If you asked me that 2 weeks ago, I would have said no. But now they want to focus more on being a Bitcoin layer 2 as opposed to their own layer 1. I don't know if that's just a marketing tactic because Charles Hoskinson knows that his coin is absolute fucking dog shit trash. But the market seems to agree with whatever narrative he's peddling here. So I don't have a ton of negativity to say. In fact, this is better than Ethereum currently. This is a very similar setup to what we saw with Doge. I don't hate Cardano. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say. I'm not hating on Cardano right now. Previous cycle, I shat all over Cardano. I called the top on Cardano. I told all the people who held Cardano that their fucking little coin was going to zero. They laughed at me. They didn't believe me. I called the tippy top on the fucking day. And I loved Ethereum. This cycle, fucking hate Ethereum. Ethereum's a joke. Ethereum's dead. It's done. It's fucked. It's cooked. It's toasted. Solana took over. Ethereum forgot who they were. And so because of Ethereum's dementia, forgetting who they are, Solana stepped in and was like, oh yeah, well, we know who you are. You're an altcoin casino, so we'll gladly be that altcoin casino. Yeah, no, this is not bad at all. This is not bad at all. Let's see Cardano on the Bitcoin chart. Yeah, me likey. So yeah, I think it has a short-term future. Do I think it has a future? No, nothing. Nothing has a future unless it's Bitcoin. There's no future, quote unquote, with Cardano. Something like that from a Wyckoff point of view. Actually, this is a backup. Let's try and make a few things fit here. We'll make it fit. Yeah, something like that. So we'll see. If they keep marketing themselves as a Bitcoin layer 2, and if they start to offer some Bitcoin layer 2 options, and Bitcoin continues to steal the show, then absolutely it can ride on the coattails of Bitcoin. Too low liquidity in many alts to spend time on them. Don't trade anything with at least 50 million in daily trading volume. Very good. Yeah. If you want good liquidity, it's got to have 50 mil per day. With the exception of liquidity pools. So liquidity pools are very different. That's, from the stock market, that's exactly what you want. You need that much volume for you to even have the ability to sell. Liquidity pools, you can do rug pulls. So if there's a liquidity pool with enough for you to take out your money, you don't necessarily need to have daily volume. You just need to have available liquidity. And if you have available liquidity, you can rug it. You can pull it out. All right, what else were we going to look at? Oh, yes. Bitmaps. Very good question on bitmaps. And this is a good opportunity for me to talk about the upcoming update that is coming to Nats in general, DMT, anything DMT. Let's go over to Magic Eden. And go to, where are the bitmaps? Bitmaps. So currently there's a bit of an issue, fundamentally speaking, with bitmaps, Natcats, NAT token. There's a lot of issues with bots. And what the bots are doing is they are automatically inscribing each new block so that this bot wallet, this bot account, gets all the bitmaps. Now, it's not just one bot. There's hundreds of them. But it's an unfair dynamic where a robot is getting all of the newly issued bitmaps. They're getting all of the newly issued NAT. They're getting all of the newly issued anything DMT, anything that is issued from a Bitcoin block. But there's an update coming. And the update is, instead of you having the ability to mint these things, once you have a block out, you can mint the block out. But every time a new bitmap is created, it goes to the miner. So whoever mines the block gets the bitmap. Way better. Way better distribution model. And as a result, that will completely change the supply dynamics of bitmap, and you will see bitmap fucking moon. Why can't I get a chart here? This is really struggling to load here. Bitmap will fucking moon. It's got a very strong narrative behind it. You can program AI. It's fucking metaverse. It's the websites of the metaverse. There's a lot of things to get excited about on bitmap, but we have this problem with that bot that is minting all of the new bitmaps. Once you remove that problem and you have even and fair distribution, rewarding the miner for contributing to the ecosystem instead of rewarding the bot that is front running everybody, completely changes everything. It's gonna change anything DMT. Let's take a look at Ordinals wallet and go to the market, and this really affects tap DMT. So the block runner guys, Will and Iman from Block Runner, they launched the tap. They launched DMT. They launched the digital matter theory. They came up with digital matter theory, and put it out into the world. And now they're coming up with the solution to fix the problems. It's good. It's good. As soon as that's live, we won't have that supply leak into the hands of those that are just wanting to floor the price of Nats and wanting to floor the price of anything DMT. So that'll be really, really good. Price target for track. I don't have a price target. I never have a price target for anything. I have market parameters, which are not, those aren't price targets. I have market parameters. And my market parameters are based off of Bitcoin. When Bitcoin tops, I sell everything, all the alts. I turn them into Bitcoin. And then if Bitcoin keeps going up, then great. But yeah, so let's look at Bitcoin, I guess. Basically, what I want to see is just like in the prior cycles, we're going to be in a green wave. You see that wave underneath the price? It goes from red to green. We have a green wave. We need to be past an all-time high break. We need to have euphoria and FOMO in the market. We need to have a new wave of retail investors coming in, and that wave needs to flip from green to red. As soon as that wave flips from green to red, and all those three other metrics are in place, we done. I'm done. Wrap it up. We're out of here. So I'm not even, I can't even look at the track chart. Track might just trade to zero and do nothing. Track might go up to obscene valuations. We have no idea. We have no idea. Anybody that claims that they know is lying to you. It could be anywhere between 10 cents and $1,000. So pretty useless, pretty useless. I make my moves based off of what the market is doing, and the price associated with the asset at the time that the market is doing the thing that I'm looking for, completely irrelevant. I don't care about the price. I care about the event. The event is so much more important than the price. So price prediction, it's completely useless. I don't know, $100, $500, $50, $5. They're useless. When is the upgrade for DMT? I'm not sure. You'll have to hop into the Mscribe Discord to get more insight on that. But I'm sure they're not telling people when exactly, because that's the way development works. You have a timeline. You expect certain things to be delivered at a certain point, and then you get a delay. So I don't know. We'll see. Anywhere from this week to next year. Maybe longer. I was forgetting about the new MRI bot. Any quick insights about that? No, we're not ready to give too much information about that just yet. Matt has been sharing, oversharing. It's not as ready as people think it is. So we're not ready to talk about it. All I can say is that you guys are going to love it. And if you want a piece of that action, you know what to do. Blackbox.pro, BLKBOX.pro. Get your free Bitcoin trading bot. Yes, it is free. Not free for 7 days, not free for 14 days, free forever. Hook it up to your exchange. Hook it up to the partner exchange with us. That is the only thing that we are asking, is that you use our partner links on our partner exchanges. And you get a fabulous community. You get a fantastic sat stacker. You get some very aggressive, very profitable trading bots coming very soon. We can't wait to welcome you in. This is what the dashboard looks like. We're doing a whole reskin on the dashboard too. A lot more functionality being added. A lot of cool stuff coming down the pipe. So get into the Discord, get signed up, get verified. I'm seeing a lot of people who are unverified in the Discord. You're missing out on half the Discord. Get verified. Let me know what your UID is. Get verified. Open up the whole Discord. It's free. You've already done the hard part. What's your time frame for Bitcoin tops this cycle? So I don't know. I am going to reassess the market in about 6 months. And I'm going to be very cautious around the 6-month mark. I always tend to be a little bit bearish on time. Okay. The reason I'm so bearish on time and thinking Q1 of next year is because so many people have it in their heads that it's a guarantee that we are going to be at least end of Q4 to even 2026 before the end of the bull market. I'm not saying that that's not possible. I'm just saying that that's the dominant narrative, and therefore I'm going to counter that narrative. And for me, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic in about 4 to 6 months. I think we can have a wild bull market. And I also think that it can be much shorter than people think. Much shorter. So that's kind of the bearish. That's kind of like the only thing I'm bearish on right now is time. Sol, we took a look at Sol. Just rewind. I don't know if you can rewind on the YouTube Shorts. All right. That is all the time I have for today. If you guys enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to create your free Bitcoin trading bot and join into the free Discord. Everything's free. And on the note of everything free, when you come into this Discord, there will be impersonators. So do be aware of impersonators. If anybody in the team asks you for money, you know it's a scam, because there are 0 places where you can pay us with these products. So if any impersonator is in the Discord asking you for money or trying to trick you into some sort of a sale, you know right off the bat that it's a scam. So be aware out there, stay safe, and until next time, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.